Hi, welcome to another YouTube video. My name is Paul, I'm a mind-body coach, and today I want to talk about the link between chronic pain and pressure and inner stress. One of the reasons this is close to my heart is because I've experienced much of the challenges, let's say, of having chronic pain, generally not recognizing inner stress when it's there, putting a lot of pressure on myself to do things, to do chores, get work done, and essentially be productive in some way, to the point of somewhat burning out or not really knowing how to prioritize when it's getting to that point where I'm under stress and the inner pressure is getting too strong, basically. So I know this isn't just me. I know there is a pattern to putting more stress on yourself if you have let's say challenges with chronic pain and challenges with mostly emotional charge that needs to be released, because in my experience anyway, when I start to feel pressure, and to give an example of that, it could be thinking that I've not done enough with my day, feeling a sense of agitation through the day. So I find myself, when I have a bit of stress and pressure building up inside, my attention, my cognitive attention span starts to go down. I find myself jumping from task to task, or generally not being able to be settled with doing one thing. So I might start, let's just say, for example, I could start like cleaning the bedroom or vacuuming, and then I've already got in mind the other thing that I need to be doing to I don't know, fulfill something inside me. It's hard to explain. I'm trying to guide myself here with by reflecting on what actually are the mechanisms behind that pressure. And for me, whenever I feel myself getting into a space where I am constantly restless and judging myself, using a lot of should statements, so I should be doing this, I should have done that, I shouldn't do that, I should do this. Should is a word to be mindful of, because often it's loaded with pressure, and it's loaded with self-judgment, and it's loaded with a sense of sort of I'm not doing enough, and all those other connotations. So if you are someone who uses a lot of shoulds, just be mindful that there's pressure there, and we have to somehow try and relieve ourselves from reacting to every whim inside ourselves that pressures us to take an action or to do something with our time. And I think more importantly, what sits underneath that pressure is emotional energy. It's a reminder for me now, and it's took a long time for it to get to this point, but it's a reminder for me to do some journaling, to do a bit of stretching and slow down a little bit, go into a room on my own and get the yoga mat out, for instance, and do some breathing and let some emotions come through. It's not an easy thing to swing around, because it wasn't when I first started doing mind-body healing, and when I was continuing to put pressure on myself, and I continue to put pressure on myself. It's not like I've understood this mechanism and now I live a life without pressure. That's a falsity. That's not what happens when you start to heal, when you figure this stuff out. Your habits and ways of being, and the way that you treat yourself, the way that you maybe tell yourself off for not doing the thing that you're supposed to be doing in that day, these sorts of behaviors are very much connected with self-judgment, chronic pain, chronic stress, anxiety, all of these stress-related inner spaces that we inhabit those spaces for years without really knowing. So if you are able to recognize this sort of behavior in yourself, and you might have a chronic pain condition that goes alongside this, it maybe even blame our chronic pain for not being able to do stuff. That's something I did for many years, but at the same time we need to give ourselves a break, and if there is something that we think we should be doing or are putting pressure on ourselves for, we need to start to change the record. We need to change the message and say to ourselves and help ourselves make decisions on what to do with our time, what to do with our days, with our energy, and make choices that reduce the pressure on the things that we're doing. You could replace, oh, I should be doing X, Y, and Z to, oh, I would like to do X, Y, and Z. And it's not the end of the world if I only do X on the list and don't do Y and Z. Giving ourselves a bit of a break, a bit of space to breathe and move through life without this constant sense of urgency and stress. And yeah, it reminds me a little bit of how difficult that's been for me, and how society and friends and family, we reinforce that inner sense of stress all the time. Constantly, if I think of conversations that I've had recently where you're talking and without realizing, you're like, yeah, I would have liked to have done that, I would have liked to have done that, and yeah, oh, I should really do that, there's that thing it's been on my list for ages, I should just be doing that. And every day maybe you've been thinking about the thing that you should be doing, and all of these ways of being seem totally normal, totally part of how we live our lives, but what we don't realize is that by doing that every single day, the amount of internal pressure that we're putting on ourselves is considerably more than is comfortable, I've realized. To finish this one up, I would say, if you want to learn to try and be a little bit more aware, or maybe you're already aware of your daily struggles with your shoulds and shouldn'ts, and what I want to do and can't do and don't have time to do, and sometimes you just need to rest as well. Sometimes doing nothing is actually the best thing you can do. If you are aware of these things and you're maybe looking to change them, sometimes changing the language, so saying, you could write a list of the things that you would like to do, and then make an active choice to choose to do some things and not do other things, and know that you have the choice. And it takes time to stop obsessing about all the things that you have or haven't done, but the more you can practice, the more you can be more aware of it, the more you can slowly be a little bit more at ease with the fact that your mind is thinking about 1,000 things at once sometimes, and the only way to stop that somehow feels like it's just to do all the things, but it's not the answer. There isn't a simple answer. It's about practice. It's about understanding what those things are for you, because they're going to be different for you than they are for me. They just have the same texture surrounding them, and if you really are looking to change it, you have to change the messages and understand that the shoulds and the judges and the pressures that you put on yourself every single day is mostly related to some internal emotional agitation, coming down a bit, being a bit more with yourself, being more honest with what you can and can't handle, and trying to be, let's say, learning to be okay with the days that also, if you don't feel like doing something, that you don't constantly judge yourself that day for not having done anything. So yeah, I think I'll close that up. I hope that was helpful. In case you are struggling with chronic pain and you also have these challenges with shoulda, woulda, coulda, judgments and the like, take your time with it. You've been in the habit of reacting in particular ways for many years, and it just takes time to turn the corner. So keep trying. Changes will come, you'll feel them, but you have to be patient. So good luck, and I'll see you in the next one.